I look at them and in these kids, and I know how they feel because I feel the same thing. I didn't know at all that my life will change like that. Because I coming from a very poor family. I was 7 years old. My dad stopped working because the company closed. After we sell our stuff, my dad got very sick. We didn't have where to go, so we moved with my grandma to Belen. Belen is one of the area in Iquitos where it's very poor. Many times we didn't have food in the table. I remember there is a lady in Belen, so we'll go to her to wash dishes, to sell food, so she can give us a plate to eat.
March of 2000, I came to Iquitos for the first time, and my daughter and I had a part in a larger program with a big group that came down, and during that time there were some Peruvian children that attached themselves to my daughter. I made a promise to Leovina, one of these little girls, that I would come back. It ended up that I had some pictures of her, and I had a little video clip that she ended up being in as all these people came to the airport to tell us goodbye. And a full year later, I came back to Iquitos with those pictures in my pocket and every intention of finding her. It took 10 days because nobody knew her name, nobody knew where she lived, but ultimately I found her down in the slums of Belen, and there she was, standing there wearing the same clothes that she had on in the picture that I had from a previous year. It's like God was saying, hey stupid, I'll make this easy for you. And it was just an incredible joy to be able to help her and her little brother and her older sister with some of the school supplies and things that they needed. We put her in computer school, put her in language school. 4 months later, she was bilingual.
Mr. Paul Opp, he helped me and my family a lot in my education. I went to college, I studied psychology. Also translating for different groups, making money and helping my family. And then in some point, like 4 years ago, I came to be director of the program for the all girls. Later, the organization made some change in the direction of the office, so I started to be the director of the organization.
When you're working in another culture, like I do, and you get here full of idealism and all kinds of lofty goals and methodologies that you think are just going to be awesome to impact the world, you find out quickly that you really don't know very much. And it is invaluable to have somebody from this culture who really, really knows what will work and what won't work, what will be received, what won't be received. And I can't tell you how many times that I've had to default to Leovina. Oh, this is it, we're gonna do this. Or I'd be upset about something that didn't go well. And then she'd say, now, Mr. Opp, listen to me, you know. And she would straighten me out on the cultural sensitivity or why it wasn't received or why it's not a good idea or why if we did it just a little bit differently, it would work well. So Leovina started out as a student here, worked her way up through the ranks, and I believe, like a lot of other people believe, that she was really raised up to take the leadership of this organization. When we go down to Belen and we work in areas like that or other poor villages, it's a balancing act somehow to bring the opportunity to someone's mind that there may be something different and better without trampling on everything that is near and dear and sweet and sensitive to them in terms of the memories they have as a child. These little kids running around in the polluted, filthy streets of Belen barefoot, whose parents are struggling every day for a food for their next meal, these kids don't see it that way. They're happy little kids that are enjoying life. And it's only later on in life do they realize that they're struggling and struggling for a day-to-day existence that lots of people in this city have never known. Leovina's little brother Benjamin is now a dentist because she had the means to get him in good schools up out of the Belen area, and by the time he was old enough for the university, we could see that this young man would be a fantastic candidate to go into a service profession, and he wanted to be a dentist. And now he's leading the dental department of our organization. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to raise up young people from here to make a difference here.
Sometimes when I talk with my brother, I'm in a restaurant eating a quart of chicken. I will be looking at my brother and say, hey, do you remember when this whole piece of chicken was for 6 of us? And he will look at me, yeah, I can't believe how hard life was. When you are poor, you feel like people just discriminate you, and I know how hard is that. I really show them that I'm like them. 3 or 4 years told me already they see me helping my dad, my mom. They know that I was poor, they know the work I do and how my life changed. They told me many times, I want to be one day like you. So that really makes me feel good because they can see in that way a good example. This is one of my goals, to be walking anywhere in Iquitos and see these kids successful, maybe as a teacher, maybe working in a bank or having their own business. That will be awesome.